MasterMold episode number 5. MasterMold is a consortium of different collectors that are like-minded in the pursuit of either collecting, reselling, or understanding vintage toys and gaming. In today's episode, we're going to actually go through Listia finds, swap meet finds, trades, as well as thrift source finds. But before I get into any of that, I'd just like to dedicate the first part of this episode to a Mr. Dan Kramer. Dan Kramer used to work at Atari, and he was dealing with hardware at the time and helping develop different components in order to push along gaming for the Atari system as well as gaming in general. He was able to show us one of the handheld consoles that actually I don't believe ever made it to market, and it's called the Cosmos. Cosmos was like an LED handheld system that had cartridges that had holograms within it. One of the games that was part of that system was Asteroids, and luckily enough, Mr. Kramer actually bequeathed upon me an actual hologram of the asteroids. I'm not sure if you guys can actually see that, but if not, I'm going to show you a little slide at the very bottom of this page. There's the asteroids, and the other game I believe was Superman. It's a pretty cool idea, I think, at that time. However, it never actually got to take off. I do appreciate, again, Mr. Kramer for giving me that hologram. Definitely going to keep that up. I always remember the fact that you had given that to me. So thank you again, Mr. Kramer, and thank you for being a part of MasterMold. Now on to our different finds for the week. Before actually I get into the different finds, I'd actually like to make a correction to last week's episode. Let me show you something. Last week I had suggested that these game cases were actually rental game cases, and that was incorrect. I think these particular ones came in a 5-pack and it sold for almost like $20. The game cases that were for the rentals look like this. There is no Nintendo symbol on it, and if you actually have the game that actually came with it, you'll notice that this is actually a sealed game for Wizards and Warriors. However, there's no game inside. It's all styrofoam. The game actually came in this case, as you can see the game, and also with it a photocopy of the instructions manual. So this was actually what the cases look like for the rentals. And let's get on to the different finds that we had of the week. First thing that we're going to go through are our Listia finds. I was able to pick up these bot shots. They're a relatively new toy. I think it cost me like 1,800 credits for the both of them, which is pretty cheap. I figured out that's like $1.80 for picking up both of these. They cost I think like $5 in the store last time I checked. It's kind of neat. I just was able to pick those up, went for a low bid. And the next thing that I picked up was some Street Fighter figures. I picked up 3 of them. You most likely will recognize the middle one. I believe that's Blanca. I think the one on all the way to the left is Dalsum. And these are pretty cool. They're 12-inch figures. Unfortunately, they didn't come with any clothes, but I got them pretty cheap on Listia. And after that, I was also able to pick up a Sega Genesis game. I'm not too familiar with the game, but I thought it looked cool. It's called Internal Champions. Picked it up pretty cheap. There's the cartridge, there's the manual. There's finds like this all over Listia. If you haven't become part of it, definitely join. You can use my link or Trevor's link in order to join Listia. And the last thing I was able to pick up on the site were some Battlestar Galactica figures. And let's see, I also have one more. The only figure that I'm truly familiar with, I think, is this one. I think this is Adama. This might be Starbuck, and this is just some alien. Don't remember the alien's name. So these are different things that you can find on Listia. They're always available. Just have to check, and remember, you can't get the finds unless you don't join. So definitely join Listia. Next thing I'd like to go through are different trades that I picked up. The first one is Parrots. Thank you, Trevor. It's basically a box game. Let me open this up for you. Game's inside. Unfortunately, it didn't have the map and the manual in it, but still a box game. Definitely glad to pick that up. And then the other thing I was able to get, it's not a very popular game, but I was able to pick this up off of a trade also from Trevor. It's Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. The reason why I wanted this game so much is the fact that it was nearly in a perfect condition. I don't usually find games this nice. Everything was almost perfect on it. And the game plays, it started on the first try. The only thing with it is did play the game, not very fun at all. So you're not missing anything as far as this game in itself. And lastly, I got this from Edwin. I was able to trade for it. He had posted on the site before. Went through a full detail of exactly where this figure comes from. It's pretty nice to get to actually pick up the figure. And next thing we're going to go through are different finds that I picked up during the week. I'm not much into Dungeons and Dragons or anything in that kind of genre, but I was able to pick up some things. I think I got this for free from Al, and this in itself are 1991 Advanced Dungeons and Dragons trading cards. I don't think they're that popular, but you don't see something like this very often. I believe it has the whole entire factory set on the inside. So it's pretty cool. Got it for pretty cheap. And after that, was able to pick up 2 Nintendo games, Infiltrator and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I actually got this from a reseller that's pretty heavy on eBay by the name of Jay. He usually mainly deals in GameCube games as well as Xbox 360 games, but I was able to get these off of him. Pretty cool games. And as far as finds on thrift stores, I'd like to show you these two. I got this Pokemon Gold and this Woody Woodpecker racing game. The value in these games actually comes with the Pokemon Gold. Currently right now I'm auctioning a Pokemon Red, and the last one I listed on there went for $28K. I think this will probably go for about $22K. Given the fact that I paid $2 for it, it's definitely worth it. As far as Pokemon, it's like gold on listed as far as earning credits. And let's go through Swamp Meat finds. First thing, some figures that I picked up from Jorge, who is also on the website. These are Ninja Turtles. This is, I believe, Michelangelo's dinosaur, and this is like some mecha or mech soldier turtle armor where you can put the figure on the inside and then cases him. Looks pretty cool. Thought they were pretty good finds. And after that, just to show you, I picked up some stuff. I don't think I showed it last weekend, but they're Dune figures. This guy's from the House of Atreides. These are her Conan. If you recognize the face, that's Sting in the Dune movie. And I can't exactly remember exactly who this was. I think he was a Fremen, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me get to the next thing. I also picked up this handheld console. It's a Pac-Man console. It's relatively new. I think it was made in like 1992. It's just a simple handheld, nothing too popular. It's not like the old Coleco's table arcades, but it still plays the Pac-Man game. In addition to that, I also found another Game Boy Advance. It's like a pink color. The weekend before that, I found a white one that was pretty nice, and I was able to trade that off to Edwin. And other things that I also picked up, I don't tend to pick up DVDs very much, but it's the complete episodes of Flash Gordon, The Adventures of Flash Gordon, so I picked that up. I also picked up this sealed Genesis game, and it's a sports game. Sports games are not very popular, but it was sealed, so I decided to pick that up. And then, when I was out hanging out with Al, we came across this. And it's a Tomart's price guide to Star Wars. Now, I personally think Tomart's went under, not 100% sure, but I don't see their price guides or any of their magazines out anymore. So if you're out there, if you find a Tomart's, definitely pick it up. They're very good reference materials as far as the different collector action lines that are